Full Service Radio is proudly supported and hosted by Simplecast, the easiest way for a podcast creator to publish and distribute audio on the internet. For more information, visit simplecast.com.
Full Service Radio.
Full Service Radio.
Peace, everyone, and welcome to the Edible Activist Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting live from the lobby of the Line, D.C. This podcast is where dynamic people of color in the food and agriculture space share their personal food journeys, passions, and perspectives that stem from the land, all exemplifying the spirit of activism in their own edible way. Let's get started. Peace, everyone. I'm your host, Melissa L. Jones, with the Edible Activist Podcast, broadcasting live from the lobby of the Line, D.C. here on Full Service Radio. And I'm excited, as always, because I am sitting in the room with like all this melanin, okay? I got three beautiful women, which I meant to say that before y'all walked in, okay? Three beautiful women of Dine Diaspora, all right? And so I was hoping that they wouldn't like kick me or push me or anything like that, because I was so pressed to get them in all together, okay?
We're here.
Because it's the dynamic trio, as I'm going to call it, all right? So welcome to the show. I am so excited to have you all. I am such a fan of your platform.
Thank you.
I really am. And they have a platform, but they're business. They're entrepreneurs. Like, y'all are amazing. So anyway, started in 2014 by Maame, Nana, and Nina. Dine Diaspora is an agency based in Washington, D.C. that amplifies the influence of African food culture around the world. They work with culinary creatives and brands to drive value in new and existing markets, curating immersive experiences that celebrates African cuisine. You can find them putting on great events like Chop Bar, Dish and Sips, and Chef Studios, and probably elsewhere in the DC area, turning up for the culture, right? I know y'all turn up. Y'all turn up at y'all events, and I know y'all got to do a little turn up on the side.
Definitely.
Don't sit here pressing, okay? I know y'all do. They're all pointing to each other. No, all three of y'all. Welcome again, ladies. I'm so excited that we made this happen. And it's just always an honor to have just dynamic people in my space. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of Dine Diaspora. I need to make it out to events. I haven't made it out to an event, but I'm still a fan. Okay.
Come out. I can't wait to have you.
Yes, I'm excited. So in this episode, we are going to get to know each of you because these women are from Ghana. Beautiful. Ghana. So we're going to get into those roots, y'all. And then we're going to learn how the Dine Diaspora got started and the gap that you guys are filling, because obviously you noticed that there was a need, there was a lack of experiences, there was a lack of culture, so to speak. And so you guys are really filling a true void with your platform. And we're going to explore the African diaspora just a bit and the flavors of the land along with food and identity, because that is a large part of what you do with your platform. So we're just going to hop in. Again, you ladies are from Ghana, and I'm not sure how long you guys, I know you've been here for a while, but I'm really interested just in learning about each of your origins, briefly. So we'll start with Nana. Here's looking at you, kid.
I was like, no, look at me.
Yes, so I was born and raised in Ghana. I came here when I was 13. I think that's, I'm not going to say that. I almost gave up my age.
It's okay.
And I've been living here since, of course, back and forth, going home and being here, but mostly staying in the U.S.
Wow, yeah. Wonderful. Maame?
Yes, I'm Maame. And I was also born in Ghana and lived there quite briefly, so until the age of 2.
Okay.
Then my family moved to London, and then from London we moved to the U.S. and moved around a little bit. And I found myself in D.C. in 2007. Yeah.
Okay. Nina.
So I, obviously I'm also from Ghana.
Yeah.
And I came to the U.S. when I was 7, and I actually grew up mostly in the Northern Virginia area. So I've been here forever. So I'm just as much Ghanaian as I am a Northern Virginian DMV person as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Maame, Nana, you have been in Ghana the longest.
Yes.
What are some of those memories in Ghana?
Let's see. I mean, in terms of memories, I think a lot of the things that I remember, it's not the same because technology has changed a lot currently.
That is true.
But I do get a chance to reminisce with my friends when I go back, the kids that I went to high school with. Favorite things we would do is, so, with music would come out now, right, in the U.S. and the Western world, but we'd get it later.
Very late,
so we'd learn all the lyrics. So, I mean, now people call me an old head, but it's like I was forced to be that way. It's not that. The music just never got to me. Exactly. The music never got to me at the right time when it came out. But it's amazing to sit there with a group of friends and learn every lyric to like "The Boy Is Mine" and sing word for word. But those are some of the fun memories that I have with my friends, and also like I think one thing we loved to do was read Sweet Valley High.
Oh wow!
Y'all were living just like us.
Oh really?
Did you do anything Ghanaian?
Don't do that.
Or you my neighbor?
We loved Sweet Valley High, and we'd always take turns. So one person would get it, his parents would go to, so we lived in like a community, and the big library was in another city away. So one parent would go get it, and then we'll all just take turns reading the book.
Community.
But yeah.
And what about any your food, like significant food traditions in Ghana?
Oh, Christmas.
Christmas was the jam.
Christmas is when it really mattered.
Okay.
Christmas is when, chicken will be killed. You will see a chicken's throat being cut, ready to be boiled in hot water to take the feathers off. Okay. But that's when we all come together. I mean, to be honest with you, no one really thinks about gift giving for Christmas. We're more of a, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. Here's this jollof rice I made for you. I love you. Like, we're all about community and eating together and being in the same presence. So I think even coming here and realizing how Christmas is such a gifting thing, it wasn't really something that was normal for me. And I think I still struggle with even giving people gifts or even working on what type of gifts to give people, because Christmas is just, hey, we're here, we're eating good food, good vibes, family, loving times, all of that.
No wonder food is your love language.
Oh, food is your love language?
I mean, cooking, food, everything in between. I do love food a lot.
I do
and,
too.
And napping.
And napping. Yes. Listen, I'm not mad at a nap. I'm not mad. Did you feel, either of you ladies, again, I know, Nana, you were here the longest. I mean, in Ghana the longest. And Maame, you were there for a couple years. And Nina, 7 years. When you came, I guess speaking to Nina, did you feel like you were separated from anything or something was missing when you came over to the States, even as a young child?
Definitely it was hard. I can't say. I think anytime you move anywhere, especially as a child, because I feel like as a child, your whole center of your world is probably your neighborhood, your school, and family members. And so coming here and all you had that was familiar is probably your family members,
right.
Some of whom you haven't seen for a long time because everybody was moving somewhere, and getting oriented. It's hard. It's not easy. You have to make new friends. You have to get oriented to a school system that you don't know. Also, like perhaps language. People might think you have an accent.
Yeah.
I mean, all these things that come up, and back then it wasn't cool to be African. Like, people, it was like people didn't know like where Africa was. I mean, they knew, but it was all these negative stereotypes about African countries, everybody's poor, everybody's hungry, everybody needs money, you know, so, and especially kids really are the ones that they see these things on TV and that's all they know.
Right.
You know, they don't have other things to compare it to, so they're going to bring it to school to the one person they feel
see
like.
The little orphanage on TV, dial 1-800 to feed a child.
Exactly, and that's all they know
water,
about Africa.
Yeah.
And so when they come to school, I'm the person, you know, and I tried so hard to like not be that person, not deny it, but also trying to like, you know, be more involved in things, be, you know, make friends that, you know, didn't really harp on that, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to touch on the African diaspora and defining that for some audience members who may not be, because a lot of people are disconnected to a lot of things. So definitely, and I can tap on Maame while she's sipping her water.
Actually, throw that question.
Okay, to Nana. Okay, yeah.
Guys.
This ain't no basketball game, y'all, okay? But definitely define the African diaspora and what that like means to you respectively as well, because you may, you know, have your own way of how you define it and what that means to you and your heritage.
Yeah, and for me, and also just for Dine Diaspora in general, we define it as people with heritage and connection to the continent. So mainly Black people all over the world. So the diaspora here are people that either were born in Africa, moved here, or have heritage on the continent in some way. Whether you've traveled there, it doesn't matter. But having that connection and recognizing it is really important to being a diasporan, recognizing it. And then for us, and for me, certainly, I consider people of the Caribbean, people that are on the continent as well, people in Europe that are Black people. Right. So it's just our connection as a people all over the world. And if you just recognize that you have heritage in Africa in some way, you're a diasporan. Absolutely. You're just someone that now carries that wherever you go. And to me, that's beautiful about Africans and Black people all over the world, that we can be anywhere and yet still tie our roots back to a continent that's so beautiful. Why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it really doesn't matter how removed you are, you know. Really, it doesn't have to do with the years, but the connection that you feel in your heart as well. And I think that we're really experiencing a beautiful moment in our history where we are, a lot of people are reclaiming their connection, and a connection that maybe they didn't want to claim. And now we're claiming it through a lot of things that are being done, DNA testings, travel as well, with Dine Diaspora doing that through food as well, and really exploring who we are, who we've been, who our ancestors are as well, and the beauty of what has come through the African continent and how it's touched so many other continents around the whole world.
Do you see this resurgence of people really wanting to make that connection? You know, because I know as of late I've been not even as of late, but I'm pro-Black. All right, like sometimes I blame this work for that, but I'm like, no, I'm unapologetic about it. Okay, y'all know when I was sitting at that pineapple event, I got a few emails. Okay. I did. But I got emails with people saying, thank you for speaking your truth. Okay. But do you see this resurgence with people just really, you know, wanting to connect back to the land, to their ancestors, where they've come from, you know, doing the DNA testing, you know, do you see that? Is that becoming more prevalent?
I mean, I think, to be honest with you, in this time and age, yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people who are interested in the African continent, be it through travel, fashion, food. I think creating different experiences, even through Dine Diaspora and other avenues, allow people to feel like, okay, even if I can buy this $1,500 ticket and get there, I can still go to this event, feel it, and still be like, hey, I'm for my people, you know? So I think, in a way, there are so many avenues here in the U.S. and around the world that's allowing people to find a connection back to the continent. And, I mean, there are instances where people may feel like, oh, well, the people on the continent don't necessarily want us there. And it's like, not true. I mean, Ghanaians are like some of the most friendliest people ever, and are always arms wide open for people to come through. I also think it's amazing to see these kids going to prom with their like African ensemble. Like, man, I want to redo prom all over again. I'm like, I want the Ankara outfit,
but it wouldn't have been a thing back then. So at the same time, it's like if the moment is right.
It's beautiful.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then there are people who, of course, are like, where was that same energy back then? But I also believe in progress and progression in life, and it's okay for there to be a time when we start recognizing that we have a lot of ties back home. There is a home for everyone, and that's on the continent. Let's take our resources, our love, our power, our good vibes and energy, and
I
put it
also
in there.
think that this moment is not just about like culture, fashion, music. I think it's also about economic and political recognition for Black people all over the world, especially here in the U.S., where I think over the past couple of years we've seen so much being done to people of color, especially Black people. And I think this insurgence of pride in a place where you can be from, that people look like you, that have people in power that are like you, an imperfect place, we might say. But that connection is so important. And I think that also is aligning with this fervor for culture. And it's beautiful. Like, what is the food like? What are the people like? What is the language? Aligned with political and economic, like, you know, trajectory, I think is aligned, and it's different than just, I think it's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it's interesting because I grew up in Silver Spring. I grew up in Silver Spring before it is what it is now. So before all the discovery, I was there when crack cocaine, crack addicts were laying. That's the Silver Spring I grew up in. And I grew up along me and my sister and my parents. We grew up in an apartment building, and it was a melting pot. I had African friends, I had Indian friends, I had Mexican friends, I had Ethiopian friends, I had Jamaican friends. I don't even know if I had a white friend in that building, okay? Now I think about it, I don't think I had a white friend. I had a meal every other day, all right? And so I remember we were on the 6th floor, and our neighbors were Ethiopian. And as a child, first of all, our first babysitter was African, and I remember I've had sticky rice. I had every food on the planet, okay, just about. But I remember those experiences. But our Ethiopian neighbors next door, I couldn't wrap my mind around the traditions that they, celebrated, especially when someone would die. It was an all-night affair. I mean, there would be like 100 people in like that 2-bedroom apartment, and then you wake up the next morning and they're still like, singing and celebrating. And I was just like, what is going on over there? But it obviously it didn't hit me until now, bringing their traditions here and keeping them alive and relevant. And the whole like that, obviously, as a child, didn't make sense to me. And I look back at it and I'm just like, wow. I mean, my friends are still cooking the same food that, that their family cooked over in a whole nother country. I mean, I have friends from El Salvador, every single place. And it's just amazing how it hits me now. And it's a beautiful thing, like you said, to still want to remain connected. And, my family is from the South, from Mississippi. So just even in the States, my parents have always made it a thing for us to go back every single year. So just like you, even though you might only been in Ghana for 2 years, that's still home. For me, Mississippi is home, because I knew that coming up, and my parents made sure that we were still very much immersed in like our tradition and our family. Right. So anyway, I just wanted to plug that in. But this is Melissa L. Jones here with the Edible Activist Podcast, broadcasting live from the lobby of the Line DC here in Full Service Radio. And I have the wonderful pleasure of speaking with Dine Diaspora, and I have Maame, Nana, and Nina. Is that 2 N's and 1 M, or 2 M's and 1?
1 M and 2 N's.
That should be a shirt or something. Yep. I don't know.
And an M.
We're going to take a break in a few moments, but what do you feel that we have gotten away from as for Black people who are descendants of Africa, because that's what I believe, regardless of who wants to fight me on that or not. For those who want to just say they're American, all right. Whatever, that's a whole nother thing. My opinion, all right. But what do you feel like we have gotten away from? And I know this is going to tie in, obviously, to part of the reason why you all started Dine Diaspora, which we'll get into the crux of that. But what else have we gotten away from that we need to connect back to or with? If there's anything, well, I know there's something, but you know.
I mean, I think there's a plethora of things, but I think on a really basic level, I think a lot of the culture and identity that I can say I have with Ghana, my brothers and sisters here can't say that. And through DNA testing, yes, that can be done. But still, you're giving a plethora of countries and told, hey, you might be from here, there, and there.
1% here, 0.05%. What does that mean?
It's not even necessarily a fault of, one's doing. But I think that's what I mean, what do you guys think?
It's true.
Nina's like, she ain't asked me.
But no, that's what I think. But again, you can't really feel tied to a culture that you've never had or haven't been introduced to. There are people that take it upon themselves to also do research and say, hey, this is what I align to and this is what feels like home to me, and some don't. I have great friends who pretty much don't believe even in the word African diaspora. They're like, I'm American. And I always say, it's okay. Like, yes, that's fine. Meet them where they're at. Yeah, but for me, it's like, there's a lot of culture and identity that even within.
Do you feel disrespected though when you hear that? Because
no, not really.
Okay.
I only say that to say you shouldn't feel disrespected, because if someone doesn't have any connection and ties to a place and they don't feel like they should call themselves the African diaspora, I think you should allow them. I think we're all entitled to where we feel connected and tied to.
And I agree with that, but I'm just saying, knowing where you come from, is there...
but I think as if the person is looking down on, connection to being African or Africanness or...
And I'm not even saying that they're saying that because they're looking down at it, but maybe they don't know who you are and where you're from.
But I also think I'm on the privileged side of things when you think of it, because I do know where I'm from. I do know where my mom and my dad come from. So
I've never heard anybody put in that context.
It's a bit odd to fault them for, I can't connect to the African continent. Now, when you're demeaning, that's a whole different conversation, because again, the media has this perception of what Africa is, and it's everywhere. People think of that, and there are so many young, talented Africans that have created content to showcase that the continent is not just one thing. There's so many different things occurring in all these different countries that are there. Africa is not monolithic. It's not one.
Exactly.
It's not one country. So again, you can't fault people for not believing in your views. You have to meet people where they're at.
Absolutely.
And accept.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, eventually reel them in, but
if you can, like you said, you meet them where they are. I mean, even my platform, meet them where they are. Everybody is not going to be on the same page and not going to have the same beliefs, and you have to meet them where they are. Now, and what I gather from your response, and I think I've talked about this on previous episodes, there is a real identity crisis here. People don't know who they are.
Right.
And I think that's part of a larger issue at hand here. Right. From everything that's going on to mental health issues and, so people really don't have a sense of who they are. And then obviously you have social media that just doesn't help in the situation at all,
not.
It really is a true identity crisis, because I feel like if you know who you are, you would have more of a foundation of your character, and I feel like life I'm not going to say it'd be perfect, but you just you're on solid ground. It keeps you grounded.
I personally do find that people that you meet that know themselves racially, culturally, tend to come off to me as more authentic. There's an authenticity about owning who you are, where you're from, and whether or not it was a great place or not, just that recognizing that this is what my story is. I personally find them more authentic. And when there's that gap, it's often difficult for me to connect. It's often very difficult. But but that's just something I've noticed over time, that element is something. And I don't think you have to perfectly know yourself, because I think growth is about discovering yourself over and over and over as a person. But that idea of that, I'm looking for a cultural connection within myself, an identity of race, culture, all that. What is that to me? I think that discovery process is essential to growth in a person.
You are absolutely right. On that note, we're going to take a really quick break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Perfect Day, produced by Artists Authentic. For more of Authentic's work, visit allornothingstudios.com. All right. Welcome back to the Edible Activist Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting live from the lobby of the Lion DC here on Full Service Radio with Dine Diaspora, Nina, Maame, and Nana. These women are so phenomenal. Y'all are. Y'all really are. I really just, I like y'all, and I like y'all platform. I do. I'm like crushing. I do. So they are entrepreneurs. And that's the other thing so we're going to dive into Dine Diaspora, which is your baby, all y'all's baby. Nana and I just had a conversation. Baby one. Nana said this is her first baby. And so definitely want to let our listeners know what is Dine Diaspora and why you guys got started. Kind of know why y'all got started, but we're going to jump into the crux of the business side. They pointing at you, Nana. Q.
Yeah, well, Dine Diaspora has definitely evolved in the years, but to get started, we started Dine Diaspora to bring people together. I'd been in DC for a number of years, and I felt like there needed to be more than just the networking, more than just the happy hours. And when I met Nina and met Nana, and we all got together, we all decided that it should be done. Something should happen. So we cooked up this idea to have a dinner party, but we were very intentional about who we used for the dinner, like who would make the food. And representation has been important to all of us. And so we wanted ourselves to be represented in the food that we would present to the table, and how we would commune and present culture through food, in addition to getting people together from different industries and getting them to connect in a more authentic way than just meeting, let me get your business card and peace out.
Because they ain't gonna follow with you anyway.
Yeah. No. And so that's how we began to build our Dine Diaspora community and grow that into a platform that is digitally, and as well as through some of the live event experiences that we have. And as you talked about in the beginning, so the Dish and Sips, the Chop Bar, which is our annual event, the Chef Studios as well. And, there's more to come in the future as well. But we've definitely evolved in the years, but it's been very important for us to be a business and not a nonprofit, although we do have a social angle to the work that we do and a social mission to the work that we do as well.
Or an organization.
You're a for-profit, all right? And I want them profits, and I want all the profits.
Or
hire us, okay? This ain't for free.
Right. And it's not because it's just us too, but it's the touch points and the work that we do too. In order, we work with chefs and culinary creatives, and it's not only to just amplify their brands, but to also create experiences, and as well as connect them to projects that also amplify their brands and grow their businesses as well. And it ties back into the importance of being economically sound too, and to grow in that space,
and being sustainability. We talk about sustainability. It just ain't about the soil and the farms and the land. It's about viable businesses. And so that's the other piece that I really like about your platform. First of all, I can tell how intentional y'all are about your craft and about your platform. Okay, I can tell it. I can see it, and I love it. And they are crisp and they are on point. And Nina's laughing. Okay, like I can tell. And I like that. And, the really great thing about this space of the folks that I invite into the studio, they're all building something, even for some who aren't making money and they just want to do it as a hobby, that's their prerogative. But we really have some entrepreneurs who are coming in this space. Like, yes, there is a social mission to what I do, but I'm also in here to make money, because health and wealth, I feel like you can't, exactly. So, you guys do a lot of amazing events, and I'm not sure how recent this is, but I do remember one that you had at Kith and Kin. I wasn't there, but I was like, darn.
Just a few months ago,
Yes. I went to Kith and Kin, y'all, and I had like that big ass fried fish snapper. Yeah. I was like, whoa. That was an experience. But I've had the pleasure, is it Chef Kwame?
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard him speak. And Dynamic Brother, and you guys really, y'all partner with some really amazing people. So walk us through what someone can, because you guys have an event coming up.
Yes, we do.
Chop Bar.
Yeah. Get your tickets.
Get your tickets, right. For profit, not for profit. Don't be sliding in no DM talking about how we can slide up in there, okay?
Don't ask for discounts.
Don't ask for discounts. Don't do any of that. You've been warned. So that's coming up. Nana says she'll be able to sleep when it's over. I'm sure you all probably feel the same way.
Like 1 week. Immediately.
So what can someone pull from this experience? I sent it to my girlfriend. I was like, we got to go. She was like, I'm in. It just looks like so much fun. But what can someone pull from that experience? And why is it called Chop Bar?
Yeah. So let me start from where it all began. Like Maame was saying, we started doing very small events, very curated, and perhaps even some might say a bit luxe. And we noticed that people wanted more, and they wanted larger events. So Chop Bar came about as a way for us to be able to offer what we do to a larger audience, about 300 people. And the vibe that we wanted to create was less, this is exclusive. We wanted everyone to feel welcome, that this food is for you, this opportunity is for you to try and engage and meet new people. So the concept of Chop Bar, the name of it actually is derived from a Ghanian phrase that is chop bar. And it's actually a thing. So chop bars in Ghana are makeshift restaurants. They're pretty much come-as-you-are restaurants, very shabby looking sometimes. But what's great about them is that they usually have great food.
I was going to say, them be places that got the real authentic food. Right. That's where I want to go.
It's basically like a hole in the wall that we would equip to something like that. But the vibe is great. The people, the cooks in the back are having a good time. The guests are having a good time. Nobody's worried about what you're wearing, what you're doing. There might be some music on it. You can do whatever. And at the end of the day, the food is good. So we wanted to bring that vibe to DC. So we created an experience around the idea of bringing a chop bar out of what we know in Ghana and also around other countries just like Ghana, and bring it here in DC. So we create that vibe, and it features a chef. This year we're featuring Chef Eric Ejapon, who just finished Top Chef as a finalist. He's creating a tasting menu of 5 dishes that he's crafted just specifically for this event. We're bringing on a DJ, basically a celebrity DJ named Nana Kwabena. will be spinning some amazing tunes for us.
Y'all want me to turn it up?
Yes.
Oh, it's
and
a
if
turn up.
you have seen, yes, you have to check out the social media and just the stuff we've captured from last year. People dance. People have a good time.
They have food in one hand and twerking on the other hand.
We do it all right?
Yes.
And there's just so much at the event. This year we're introducing a new element where we're allowing people to also try some food brands that they might not know, that they could invest in, they can purchase, they can meet some of these founders that are building their brands as well. So there'll be a section for that. We've got a marketplace, so much stuff. And I have to plug our VIP experience.
All right.
Okay, so if you are a foodie of all foodies and you want a dynamic experience, you want a chance to meet Chef Eric, a whole bunch of stuff, you need to be a VIP guest. Now, tickets are going fast. They might be sold out soon. So
get your tickets. Big Chief, right? Big Chief?
Big Chief, yeah.
So it's Sunday, July 28th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Big Chief, and that's Ivy City. Uber, Lyft, Metro.
Especially many ways to get there.
Yeah.
Because y'all gonna have drinks, right?
Yep,
Yes,
of course.
absolutely.
Be safe.
Drive responsibly. Get there safe.
Come hungry and ready to dance.
Exactly. Now, I know you all have another component to Dine Diaspora, which is the chef studio and the dish and sips. I can talk. So really briefly, let's touch on that and really the storytelling component that you pull into both of those pieces. I like how I all look at one another. I'm giving y'all cue cards next time. I'm hold one up. I'm be like, Mama.
So Maame works with the chefs and stuff. So
take it away, Maame.
Yeah, I think storytelling is a very important component of what we do, and just looking at dish and sips. Look, I think I broke. And looking at dish and sips and just looking at Chef Studio as well. So dish and sip, let's just talk about the play on the word too. So we're either dishing it or we are sipping on some tea and really sharing something really that's authentic to what's the subject that we're talking about. Okay. And for Chef Studio, it's a great opportunity for our chefs to really go through a culinary journey through their menu, like why they decided to present this menu to our guests, and what does that look like, and what are they telling, and what are they sharing about themselves and their culture through this menu and through food as well. So a few years ago, we were able to work with Chef Pierre Chem, who is based out of New York and is everywhere around the globe, and really do a journey through Senegal with him, which was a beautiful experience, not only for us, but for attendees as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was there that we got to taste his product, which is Yoleli food, fonio, too, which is now in stores.
Yeah. It's a grain that originates in West Africa.
Yeah.
That's now about to... Note it here. You heard it here. It's about to make waves in the U.S. Definitely, it's on its way to being something that people, is at the tip of everyone's tongue.
I don't even know how y'all stay so physically fit with these events, because they will be rolling me out, like literally rolling me out and down a hill. Okay, like who does all these tastings? Who?
I do. I am the chief taste tester.
Once in a while, we are lucky to taste some food.
To substitute her. When she's not available.
Sounds like the Maame, if you ever want an assistant, just temporarily, just
let me know.
An assistant.
Absolutely.
Well, chefs, you know who to reach out to if you're ready to throw down and you need someone to taste it, so we can decide if you're the one. It's like courting.
Exactly. Listen, food is important. People talk about have some bad food. People gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Oh, that's real.
That's really real. Really well.
I mean, another thing we do also is work with brands. So outside of working with the creatives behind food, whether it's product makers, chefs, we also work with brands that are trying to connect with them. And a lot of times that's part of the storytelling. So we match brands that want to sell their products or sell their services, with chefs that can help them do that through events that they could curate together, through campaigns that they can do together that surround food. So we're also on the other side where we're getting major brands to recognize that food is a way to connect with customers. And whether you're a food business or not, let's use food to attract people.
You can attract me through food, good food. Not just anybody's food and not bad food, but good food. Good food. Well, we're going to wrap up in just a moment. And I feel like I could spend another 30, 45 minutes with y'all, but I got stuff to do. Y'all got stuff to do. And Chop Bar, Saturday, July 28th. Sunday, July 28th at Big Chief. All right?
Yeah. Get your tickets,
Get your tickets.
chopbar.co.
And it's like when you support Dine Diaspora, you're not just supporting these wonderful ladies and their time and their energy. You're supporting every single piece of this event. All right? Chefs, everybody.
The DJs,
the
the
venue,
entrepreneurs, the food entrepreneurs. It's very intentional, and I'm glad you said that, because we put this together, and it's not just because you're coming to an event. When you walk into this event, you are investing in people, in businesses, and we make sure that they are the highlights. It's not us. We never get on a mic. You don't
you're
see us.
You're not going to see us.
This us.
You're going to see us running around.
Right. Hopefully in the corner with a drink at one point.
I don't know.
Do you know how they would look at how these women would look at? No, I don't want any problems sipping on a drink on the corner. They're gonna kill me.
All right, no drink until after the event is over. Before I get into my rapid fire series, what is in store for the future of Dine Diaspora? Because Nana, do you remember when I asked you when we were sitting on that panel at that pineapple event? I said, "Where's your show?" You remember when I asked you that?
You did say that.
But I was so serious though.
Wow.
You did say that.
Because someone asked a question about how do you feel about other people telling your story, white people telling your story, basically. And I had went into this whole lame situation and whatever. But I said, "Where's your show?" Because I really, truly believe that this platform, y'all do a lot. Y'all have a lot of content. So I was not playing when I asked.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Speak it into existence.
Just invite me to the tastings, know. That's all.
Don't worry.
What does the future hold for? And I know there isn't just one answer, and I know you guys have a lot of plans, but I know that you all do a lot of futuristic thinking when it comes to your platform, and I know you want to grow this your events to much bigger events, and you want to diversify, I'm sure in some capacity, your platform, add to the chef studio. But what does the future hold? If you could just kind of sum that up, and where can you?
I think we should all take turns.
All right, you each got 10 seconds apiece.
I can go. So we're going to be celebrating our 5-year anniversary this year, so that's exciting. Wow. I think one thing that I would love to see, at least even if I'm not able to see it, but my kids see, would be African food culture being on so many platforms, be it restaurants, be it TV, seeing culinary creatives that are really, really proud of where they're coming from and showcasing those foods and not feeling shy about showcasing it and not feeling like they're going to be pigeonholed if they do. Yeah. So changing the narrative in the culinary industry in a larger scale when it comes to what African food culture looks like. That's kind of what I see as the legacy for us, at least.
I can dig it.
And just looking at business owners, our foods being in supermarkets and on shelves everywhere, and having that be something that is normal, and it doesn't
accessible.
And doesn't have to just be in the ethnic
aisle. Right, you got to go to aisle 10 just to get your ethnic food. Why isn't it with all the other rice stuff or the other juice and stuff? Why I got to walk all the way down? No, it ain't right.
I would also say I want all of that and more, and I want these things to happen because Dine Diaspora had a hand in finding the right people and connecting the right brands to the talent. And in making that money that we need to be able to do all that stuff.
Say it again, Nina.
So for me, I want to see us
Investing.
get there, but I also want us to be able to invest in other brands. And that would be the ultimate, like when we are the decision makers at the table, when we're the ones choosing, hey, you're ready for prime time. Let's get you in this magazine. Let's get you with this grocery store. I want to be at the table as a decision maker, as Dine Diaspora. And I think we've galvanized so much knowledge in the industry, and I think we're on our way to hopefully being that stakeholder.
I believe it. And I see it. I have like a trillion other questions for y'all, but we ain't got that much time. I got to go, and I know Jack want to go home. Okay, and I got to go eat some ramen. So anyway, where can everyone find you on social media and on the interwebs?
So for our website, www.dinediaspora.com. For all our social media platforms is at Dine Diaspora. And of course, you can also follow Chop Bar DC, which is chopbar_DC. And check out the event, what's happening on July 28th at www.chopbar.co. Yeah, that's it.
All right. So y'all ready for my rapid fire?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. So I'm gonna ask a question, and I mean, all three of y'all can you take turns. Okay. What is your favorite leafy green? This is Nana.
Spinach.
Okay, Nana says spinach.
Kale.
Lettuce.
Mama said okay.
Keep it simple.
Nina said lettuce.
Lettuce.
I don't think I've heard any. Just
green.
lettuce. That's it.
It's basic,
Okay.
and you can find it
Butter
anywhere.
lettuce, regular. We got. There's
So,
levels.
you gotta switch it up. Sometimes you want the iceberg. I don't really like iceberg.
That has no nutritional
But you know
value.
what? You can find it anywhere on any burger or anything, and nobody
Sometimes
complains.
you don't want it. Sometimes you don't want the iceberg lettuce. It don't be kosher all the
Nobody
time.
wants iceberg.
Not at all.
Okay, sweet, spicy, sour, or salty. Nina,
Sweet.
Maame.
Spicy.
Spicy, but old age is telling me to calm down.
The truth.
I'm not going to ask what that means. Okay. Favorite fruit.
Mango.
Mango. Mango in the house. Nana.
Guava, but I don't have that much access to it. But yes, I do like guava.
Currently, it's a banana. Like today.
Nina is right. Dine Diaspora lettuce.
What's wrong with the banana? You gotta eat it.
I ain't judging. Get all your potassium. Okay, I got you.
It's basic. You can find it anywhere. I'm basic. Any country, you be like banana. Everybody understands.
Everybody knows what a banana is.
Who made that? Probably Lena Horne. Like it was all over the world. Like whatever.
All right, what's cooking in your pot these days, literally? I'm going to start off with Nana because she says she loves to cook.
So I made my first skillet cornbread.
Are you serious? Okay, we
And
got to talk offline
I got
about that.
I got the recipe from Tasty. It was so good.
Oh, gosh. I've always
Where's
wanted to
ours?
try it. Right? In her belly. Maame, what you got cooking?
What do I have cooking? Well, I was recently in New York, and I went to this food experience by Chef Binta, and she used fonio, and I also have fonio as well. So I've been experimenting with
What did you experiment?
fonio. Fonio, I made fonio by itself, and then some stew as well.
What's
Some
fonio?
tomato-based stew. It's an
ancient grain.
Oh, the
that-
grain.
yes,
the grain that we
yes.
talked
The
about
grain.
earlier. Okay,
Yep.
got
Yep.
it. Okay. Oh, nice. All right. And Nina.
So I made this tilapia coconut stew.
Oh,
Bang in.
Oh, so you are
I
fancy.
still have
Who's
some
this?
now.
Right. We went, listen, upgrade, y'all. We went from lettuce to banana to a coconut tilapia. Girl. See? All right. Since Nina is the Oprah of Dine Diaspora, or y'all's Oprah, I'm going to leave this last question for her. What is one way someone can channel their inner edible activism?
By being their authentic self and finding the food that makes them, invigorates them, and also sort of makes an impact on others. So
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Oprah got this.
Thank you, ladies, again.
Thank you.
All
For
right.
Thank
having
you.
me.
This
Had
was so much fun.
much
Yay,
fun.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. Y'all are hilarious.
We are definitely
man.
edible activists.
Yes, you are. They
Which
official.
we
They
are
got their
badges.
buttons.
Yeah.
Yay.
Been watching.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We are here live on Full Service Radio every Wednesday at 11 a.m., where you can catch today's episode on fullserviceradio.org, as well as iTunes and Spotify. Be sure to follow me at Food Talks in Color on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Are you an edible activist? Sure you are. Come join me on the show. I would love to feature you. Just shoot me a DM on the gram. Peace and blessings all. And remember, there is no culture without agriculture.